It all started in the last stall of the girls' bathroom, the place no one ever chose unless they wanted to disappear. Isla sat on the toilet seat with her backpack clutched to her chest, her heart pounding like it was trying to break out of her ribcage. She could hear the footsteps echoing outside the door. Laughter. Voices. Cruel and sharp. She knew they were coming. She had been trying to avoid them for weeks, taking different routes between classes, skipping lunch, even pretending to be sick just to go home early. But nothing worked. They always found her. Isla was quiet. Not because she had nothing to say, but because she had learned that silence was safer. At her last school, she had been happy. A little awkward, maybe, but accepted. Then her family had to move. Her dad's job changed, and suddenly everything familiar was gone. And in its place came Danny and her group, Arya, Bella, and Kayla. They weren't loud bullies. Not at first. They smiled in front of teachers, passed compliments like poison wrapped in sugar, and laughed in ways that made you feel small without saying a word. But Isla was different. She didn't react. She didn't beg. She didn't cry. And that made them furious. They started small, books pushed off desks, nasty notes in her locker, anonymous DMs telling her she should go back to whatever rock she crawled from. But today was different. They wanted to humiliate her. Completely. When the bathroom door burst open, Isla's whole body flinched. She knew it was them. "Come out, little ghost," Danny called out, her voice almost sing-song. The lock jiggled, then a hard slam. Isla held the door shut with her foot. Her breathing was shallow, trembling. "You gonna stay in there forever?" Arya laughed. "We just want to have a little fun." Then, another slam. Harder. The door gave way. 4 of them. Surrounding her. And then Danny held up her phone, recording. "Let's see how tough you are now. Bet you'll cry when this goes online." Arya pointed toward the toilet. "Go on. Drink it." The words felt like acid in Isla's ears. For a moment, her legs nearly gave out. But something inside her held on. "No," she whispered. "What was that?" Bella leaned in. "Did the mouse squeak?" "I said no," Isla repeated. Her voice shook, but she said it anyway. "Wrong answer." Kayla grabbed her backpack and tossed it across the room. Isla stepped toward it, but Danny shoved her back. "Do it. Or this video's going online. And trust me, we'll make sure the whole school sees it." 30 seconds. That's all it took. 30 seconds before everything changed. Because in that exact moment, the bathroom door flew open again. And standing there was Mrs. Calder, the assistant principal. Behind her, the school counselor. Behind them, Isla's mother. And behind her, 2 police officers. Time froze. Phones dropped. Smiles vanished. The color drained from Danny's face. "You girls. Step away from her. Now." Mrs. Calder's voice cut through the air like a blade. One of the officers moved forward. "We've reviewed the security footage from the past 2 weeks. We've seen everything." Danny stuttered. "We were just joking." "Joking?" Isla's mother snapped, stepping forward with tears in her eyes and rage in her voice. "You call this a joke?" The officers didn't wait for more. They separated the girls. Took statements. Confiscated phones. The school counselor wrapped an arm around Isla and led her out of the bathroom, whispering, "It's over now. You're safe." In the days that followed, everything unraveled. The video hadn't just stayed on Danny's phone. She had posted earlier clips online, ones where they laughed at Isla, shoved her in the hallway, dumped milk on her bag. The internet saw it. Parents saw it. Teachers who had looked the other way could no longer deny it. Danny and her group were suspended. Then expelled. Charges were pressed. But more than that, the school changed. A campaign started. Speak for the silent. Isla's story went public. Students who had once ignored her now stood by her. Some came forward with stories of their own. Isla didn't become loud overnight. But she started to speak. One word at a time. She joined the student council. Started an anti-bullying blog. People listened. Because what had been done to her wasn't just cruel, it was criminal. One afternoon, months later, Isla stood in front of the school assembly, holding the microphone with steady hands. I was pushed, mocked, cornered. But I refused to give in. Not because I wasn't scared, but because I knew I didn't deserve to be treated like that. And no one else does either. The room was silent. Then came the applause. Loud. Long, real. Danny and her group faded from memory. But Isla remained. Not as the girl who drank from a toilet, because she never did, but as the girl who stood tall when others tried to break her. The message? Your silence doesn't make you weak. Your kindness doesn't make you small. And when you rise above hate, you teach the world what real strength looks like. She had been cornered. But they were the ones who ended up begging for mercy, for forgiveness, for a second chance. Isla. She didn't need revenge. She already won.